Our guest is Michael Peter, who's the director of Museum of Solutions. Thank you for joining in, and it's wonderful to chat with you.
Likewise. Thank you for coming.
Wonderful. So, what is the USP of MOSO?
Oi, USP. So let's pause for a second. Universal selling point?
Yes.
USP.
Unique selling point. And
Unique
how did you conceptualize this?
The unique selling point is that there's a gift in every child,
Yes,
and that every child is innately and can be a change maker.
absolutely.
But those gifts are often overlooked or underdeveloped by the society around us.
Right.
So we decided under the founder CEO Tanvi Jindal that there should be a home for these ideas in Mumbai
Right.
to begin to cultivate and spread and give more and more children and their parents the opportunity to understand and develop these gifts of sense-making, change-making, playfulness, learning, joyfulness.
Right. Wonderful. So, talk to us about the Peace Carnival.
The Peace Carnival came to us from our good friends and partners at Teach for India. And museums have often played this role around the world of being a vessel for the concerns and ideas in a community. And we know that young people have been very traumatized by events in the news recently, especially recently, but often and always.
Sure.
And there was a desire and a yearning among young people and the adults who care for them to have a place to come and explore their thoughts and share their ideas about peace and conflict and war.
Sure.
So it became a very natural idea that we should bring young people together to talk about and explore these ideas in a young person's way. So I was just down in the Library of Solutions on our 6th floor, and there's a group of young people reading a book together on what does peace feel like? What does peace taste like? I mean, Sonia, what does peace taste like? Is it mangoes? Is it masala? Is it salt and pepper?
So thoughtful.
And in these beautiful, simple ways to help young people begin to converse with this gigantic topic.
Absolutely.
And then I was just up on our make floor, our beautiful maker lab.
Sure.
And there's a DJ mixing a song with kids, the lyrics and verses the kids have written about peacefulness.
Right.
And it could be about any topic, this sort of playfulness of making music together, the exploration. You can see a kid standing in the hallway with a pencil in her mouth thinking, what is my next rhyme going to be? And then performing it. But the topic and the subject matter is very important for young people to become a part of. So this, on another floor, there was a video conference with teachers and students in Afghanistan, where our neighbors and friends here were sitting cross-legged on the floor and understanding what life is like, what a good meal is like in Kabul, but also what it's like to learn, what it's like to try and create peace in that environment. So, like many museums around the world, we open our doors to anyone who wants to come and try and make sense of the world, but in this playful, forward-looking way.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a long answer to the question.
No, that is so beautiful, and it's got a lot of depth to it. So what are your expansion plans? Are you going to go multi-city?
Oh, I thought that I would have to come and do a lot of cheerleading for that idea.
Yeah.
So one MUSO in one city, one Mumbai, is a miracle and is an incredible thing. Every kid who walks in this one building has that extra little chance of having something wonderful happen in their life.
Right.
But if it's Mumbai and Jakarta and Buenos Aires and Chennai and Delhi and the village, and then you start to have something quite magnificent.
Absolutely.
And the more we do this, the more we realize that the young people in Mumbai and Los Angeles have much more in common with each other than they do with us grown-ups often. So this is an idea that wants to happen.
Okay.
However, first and foremost, it's got to work on the block.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So it's going to take us a while.
Yes.
We're just 98 days old today.
Right.
It's still just a little baby. So
one step at a time.
One step at a time, but absolutely I had a visitor come up to me at the opening festival, and hello sir, how are you feeling today? How do you like the museum? And he looked at me and said, I'm angry. I thought, oh no, what have we done? I said, where were you 30 years ago when I was a kid?
Oh yes, so relevant to us.
And where are you now for all the other kids and all the other kids?
I wish we had experienced this much earlier.
So there is a great yearning for something like Muso to be able to touch more children in their own neighborhoods.
Yes. So how about your outreach school programs?
So our school programs, we're on track to bring in 90,000 school kids this year.
Wow.
And I'm just,
that's a nice number.
Yeah, it's a nice big number. We're a small space.
Yeah.
And
you're being modest.
No, we're compared to the 22 million residents of Mumbai, we're a very small space. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York is 3 million square feet.
Ooh.
We're 100,000.
Wow.
With some of that being parking.
Okay.
So we're tiny, we're humble and small. But our key insight here is, in many cases, we must go to NGOs and nonprofits and schools. We must reach out directly to schools to make sure they know they're welcome, and in many cases to help support their visit.
Right.
So tens of thousands of young people will come this year completely free because of money we've raised thanks to our CSR partners.
Wonderful.
It is a beautiful model, and we're beginning to understand the impact that this can have on a young child, and beginning to tune our programs and our offerings so that this really, it enriches the child, it enriches the teacher and supports the teacher. We're trying to understand, for instance, what does a child who has a great experience here, what do they talk about at the dinner table? In our workshopping phase, we spent many years doing workshops, co-design workshops with schools. We heard that one young girl got completely turned on by composting. And she told everyone in her family, the driver, the mom, the dad, the uncles, everybody, about composting for a year straight. So these are the sorts of effects that we hope to have in the world. And then the other thing, museums are great at pushing information out in the world, but we also want to bring that know-how and caring and information back. So in this year, we'll very much be putting young people in charge of the museum in a lot of ways, through children's panels, youth panels that really do have the authority to shape the destiny of the museum.
Oh, wonderful.
This is we have one of our principles is boldly child-led, and we take that very seriously.
Excellent. What are the key highlights of your partnership with Teach for India?
Teach for India. Well, Shaheen Mistry has been an inspiration to our founder, Tanvi, who was a Teach for India fellow. And whenever we have the chance to work with a Teach for India fellow, I'm so struck by the clarity of their understanding, the clarity and their conviction as defenders and champions of young people. So that network and that alumni force is incredibly important in the shaping of this organization. And I could tell story after story about that, and we're lucky enough to have 3 or 4 Teach for India fellows working at the museum. And then I think we are complementary pieces in many ways. We're not a school, and they're not a museum. We have a freedom here to program, to improvise, to bring people together, to play, to celebrate young person outside of the rigor of school. That just adds to their capabilities and their know-how now. And then I think together there's a desire to have an impact on how we think of education, what education is. So Teach for India pursues that through their network and board and advocacy in a very powerful way. And I think we're also supporting that change in our own way here.
So, yes. I think it's a great partnership, and collectively you can make a difference.
I have to hope so.
Yes. I must compliment you for your humor, sense of humor. So how do you think humor, is going to be troubleshooting a lot of problems and make this place a better world?
I think we think that humor and playfulness is one of the superpowers of humanity.
Yes. Okay.
And anytime I've been with a group in my career
Sure.
working on the problems of the world, and there are problems in the world.
Right, of course.
Climate action, sustainability, the SDGs, peace.
Absolutely.
We adults tend to tighten up. These are big, hard problems. They exhaust us mentally. They're hard to conceptualize.
Drain us out.
And when we become tense, we know now neuroscience has taught us that the creative connection-making parts of our brain shut down.
Right.
And that's exactly the opposite of what you want to happen when you want to solve a difficult problem.
Of course.
So by allowing young people to play, by supporting them in their playfulness, by bringing humor to the table, even when dealing with the most difficult topics in society, we feel this is a gift to ourselves to help us see the world in a new way. So laughter, humor, incredibly important in what we do.
Super, super. Can you sing a song in Hindi?
Not yet. Can you teach me one? So whenever we work at Muso, three things we try and do. We try and learn something.
Yes.
We try and create something.
Yes.
And we try and do real work together. Teach something, learn something, do real work together. So now you can teach me something. Teach me a song.
Hum honge kamyab. We'll sing this together next time.
Okay.
Hum honge kamyab.
Thank you so
Which
much.
means we'll definitely succeed and be victorious together.
Thank you.
Wonderful chatting with you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much. Nice talking to you.